Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Anon, your host for the next few hours, along with Gal.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Spence is here.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
I'm down in the bunker,
Good.
underground, the cement vault.
Hey, it looks
Let
like
me-
Nick is here already.
Yeah,
No,
just
Oh, yeah, he is. All right.
your camera looks like it's out of focus, Ammo.
I know, and I was trying to fix it and didn't have enough time this morning.
Sorry,
I know.
unacceptable.
I
All right,
know.
let's. Okay, I'll see you next week.
Yeah. Are you,
So
co-
you're
oh, are
so-
you
you're s-
coming?
What?
Are you coming next week?
Oh, what's next week?
I thought you were coming the end of like
No.
for Easter. Well, we'll talk
No,
about it.
I can't travel.
Our
Lockdown.
number is 919-518-9773. Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software, Telestream's Wirecast software, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. Technical question for you, Nick, right off the bat. Are you using the Stream Deck?
Yes.
So where do you set up that a button will do? Oh, great. It's not recording. I don't know. Yeah, it is recording. Okay. Where do you set it to stop and start on the same button?
That's the name of the trigger.
Well, I tried to go and look for it and I couldn't see. I remember seeing.
So there's two different triggers. There's three different triggers. There's like stream start, stream stop, and then stream start stop.
That's what I was looking for. and
Yeah,
I
it's in
couldn't.
there. It's just there's just
Okay. I
there's like
wasn't looking at triggers. I was looking at shortcuts and I was looking at
Well, no.
activators.
It could be a shortcut. It would be a shortcut, but I mean, there's three different kinds. There's a
Okay.
start, a stop, and
Okay.
a start stop. Yeah.
All right. I looked at it again. So I guess I screwed something up because the record is still green, but it is recorded.
Hmm.
Anyway, so what else is happening? So you're working from home, Nick?
I am.
Nobody goes to the office.
No, it sucks. Working from home is awful.
That's what Gal was saying, and he said that the office is open. So he went, Gal, tell us.
well, it's not awful working from home, but the office is quieter, especially now that almost nobody is coming. Specifically, they told us we're not, we're not closing the doors, we're not locking them, but it would probably be better if you work from home. And if you do come to work, don't bring the kids, don't because kids will be at home and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just do what you can to stay at home. Now, I found myself going to work because I live really close by, and the office is, it's quieter. Our offices are for about 200 in capacity. There's probably 10 people, right? 15
Good.
tops.
They're listening.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I do feel that that's the right amount of caution, right? Because I feel that forcing it to close would be just going overboard. And
I don't know about overboard.
It is. This whole thing is completely overboard.
Oh,
This
yeah.
thing is nonsense.
But I think the fact that they can have a measured response is the most important thing, not this
right,
blanket stuff.
right,
It's because, yeah, New York City, maybe they need to do this because of the way, people are so densely packed together. But the point was made the other day that if you can't apply New York City shutdown to Montana, obviously, it's just
right,
not the
right.
same
It does.
thing. So you gotta take that into account. You can't just make a blanket. So if I think that's why the federal government is backing off, not trying to say, states, you make the decision. What do you need to do? We're not going to come out and here's our recommendations, but you have to decide if you want to shut everything down.
Right. It is a recommendation right
Yeah.
now.
Well, they do it. And I mean, it's California and I guess is Illinois another state that has a total
Yes.
shutdown?
Mhm.
I think.
Yes, Illinois
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Well, they have Chicago. I mean, it's just incredibly dense city and suburb. I've been getting good information from a state senator here. My son forwarded me. This guy's been posting on Reddit, and it's good. There's no spin. It's just here's what happened in the legislature. Here's what's going on.
Is it Richard Burr selling off his
Oh
stocks?
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. No, that guy needs to be strung up.
Well,
But
Um, okay, so let me tell you why I don't like working from home. So, and this is a first world problem, I understand. So, Gall, by the looks of where Gall is sitting, Gall appears to have a house, which means he's got more than one room. I live in an apartment. I'm being dead serious here.
No,
I live in an
believe you.
apartment. I sit at this desk from 8 to 5, and then after 5 o'clock, I don't want to sit here anymore, but
You're
I have nothing
still
else to
here.
do.
Yeah,
What
you
the
guys
hell am I
still
supposed
there.
to do? Go lay on
Well,
the couch and play on my phone for 15 minutes, but I have nothing else to do. There's no other place to go. I live in an apartment.
right. But you currently live alone. Think
I do.
about living with first a partner and then with a family in an apartment and working from home, right? And I think that's the situation for most of the workers right now.
I feel bad
And
for my
that's tough.
father because my sister and my mother are all home, and he's trying to work. I mean, what a disaster. Hopefully he's not listening. They're
tough.
not listening. Sorry.
You're in trouble now, Nick.
Yeah, what are they going to do? Come down here and kick my
well,
ass?
it's the truth.
No,
Well,
but you're right, because you're so used to not that you're used to being away from your family, but you're used to going to work is work, home is home, and there is a lot to be said about this work. My mother just texted me. Whoops. There's a lot to be said about this living, going to work and living that life and then coming home and living your other life. You're living a double life. And that is gone for most people. And for some people, I'm sure that's convenient. For others, it's probably not.
Yeah, and
But
if
it's
you
probably
have,
the way that we're going anyway, because we're starting to realize, I think, that this whole idea that you need to have an office space for 3 people and spend $1,000 a month to rent office space is just stupid. You don't really need to. You
And-
can pay your employees more because you're not going to piss away money on your power bill, your rent,
Right.
your internet, your this, your that.
Nortel was a very progressive company in this place. This is over 10 years ago, where they said it was costing them $900 a month per employee to have an office. So what they did was they came out with a program where they gave you office furniture, they set up an office in your house, they gave you a printer, they gave you everything you need to work from home, paid for your internet, and it was still cheaper than what it cost to have you in the office. So they
Yeah.
had all these drop-in spaces that if you did need to go to the office, you could work there and go for meetings and all that. But for the most part, you were home, and it was encouraged. They wanted you to do it. Yeah.
So now how long ago was that?
That was 2000.
Yeah, so 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to pay for people's internet because everybody's got broadband
Well,
internet.
and that was something that changed. They no
Yeah.
longer paid for it. But
You
we're
don't have to
talking
pay for
back
broadband
then.
internet. Everybody's got laptops, so you don't need to set up a whole, battle station.
Back then, Nick, it was ISDN.
Oh boy. Well, that tell you what, they must have been paying up. Them ISDN lines were expensive. A couple hundred bucks a month for an
Yeah, they
ISDN
were.
line.
They
Or
were.
$104 a line.
You seem
Yeah.
to know that very well, Amnon.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, there'll be some good that comes out of that, out of this. I think from at least in my business as part of a managed service provider team, there will be um, I think there'll be an examination of your local IT staff, which for where I am right now is a good thing. I think a lot of small and medium sized companies that have a full-time IT person, that may change a little bit, which would be good for me and for the business that I'm in. And then obviously teleworking, which is now if you want to talk about the environment and be freaking out about how we're killing the environment, I mean, then you need to embrace teleworking because nobody's driving. I mean, it's just
Hmm.
it's great. Now the negative the downside of that is that now your local commercial real estate market is in everything is so double sided or triple sided or nine sided with all this that I hate when people say, "Oh, well, if people just work from home, the environment would be a lot, there wouldn't be as much pollution." Yeah, true.
Yeah.
There
Guess
also
what?
would
Your property tax base would collapse.
yeah, there
Yeah.
goes your commercial real estate market.
Yeah.
So, this is all multifaceted and I think that's the important thing is we're all sitting here and talking about all of the at least from the technical side, all the advantages and disadvantages. I guess what else is going to happen? Everybody's working from home. Your home internet that you're paying for is probably going to go up because the business that spends $300 a month for the same connection isn't. So now AT&T or Spectrum or Comcast, maybe
No,
we'll
no, no.
jack up your rate by $10.
The business will still need the internet more than ever because
Why?
you're working from home. You need to connect there. The bandwidth that is being used is actually
Yeah,
quadrupled.
but if you like in our case, we have 4 offices. We have an
Right.
office in Raleigh, Wilmington, Fayetteville, Greenville. If you cut all of those offices to one and paid one internet bill,
That's something else.
that's what I'm saying is like
Yeah.
there's a lot of changes there that I obviously nobody knows what's going to happen, but there's a lot of changes there that yeah, even your local restaurants. So let's say you're not going into work anymore. I eat out a lot for lunch. I started eating lunch at home. That's an effect on my local economy. There's a lot of stuff here. This is
Yeah, there's
super multifaceted.
sure there's a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
stuff attached to it that we
Yeah,
don't
that
think
nobody
about.
that for some a lot of people are just writing off as not an issue. No, it's a huge issue.
Yep.
Huge issue. Yeah.
Everything is getting a shock. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, let's see who's calling in. Good morning.
Good morning, this is Gene.
Hey, Gene.
How you doing? I thought I'd give you a little. You talk about trying to cover all your bases thing with Amazon, and probably true with Walmart too. The last 3 deliveries I got from Amazon were items that were made in China. The last I opened up one in front of my wife, and it was a woolen blanket that she bought, and it said "Made in China," so she immediately took it and threw it in the washer and
Wow.
washed it. It just got to a point where I said, "Gee, I wonder what they are doing to make sure that all this stuff coming from China and everything on the shelf in Walmart basically was made in China. Who's doing anything about it?" So I thought I'd call Amazon, find out what their
Well,
protocol was.
I just was doing research on how long a virus can stay on surfaces. And the worst
Yeah, it's
surfaces are
24 hours.
plastic and stainless steel up to 72 hours.
Oh, up to
But that
72.
doesn't mean
I thought about-
the virus is viable. It just means they can detect it up to 72 hours. So it doesn't mean it's going to be contagious. 72.
Yeah.
But the good practice I've been
Well-
getting stuff from from Amazon is I just put it out in the garage, let it sit there, and if I'm going to open it, I will have I made my own cleaning rags with a hydrogen peroxide cleaner, like my own wipe down rags. Wipe down the box, you just let it sit there. Cardboard is only like a couple of hours.
How
Can
about
it survive
paper?
on cardboard?
Yeah,
How about paper?
yeah. Some guy told me yesterday 24. Anyway, what I wanted to say was I called Amazon to find out what their protocol was, and unbelievable. I couldn't get through to anybody for about 35 minutes on hold, and finally I called back and put myself on a callback. You call me, and gave them my phone number. Oh, probably about an hour and a half later, they've been bombarded actually with calls about this stuff. About an hour and a half later, a lady called me back from Amazon, and she explained that the CDC has actually put out instructions on what they have to do on anything shipped in from China. And it's quite expensive. They have to basically disinfect everything. She tried to convince me that, everything's going to be all right. The stuff is all going to be disinfected when they deliver to your door. The drivers are going to have gloves on, they're going to have masks on, and stuff like that. So I just thought it's interesting. I can't believe everything can be covered. It's amazing. But that's Amazon is just getting blasted with calls on people that are worried because everything's coming from China.
Well, now they're retrenching and saying that they're only going to do essential products for now because they can't keep up with the demand, and they're not going
Yeah,
to.
that's not true.
Well,
I
they
ordered.
announced it, but no, but I
Yeah,
mean
they
they're
did.
saying.
But I
But
bought
they-
$90 worth of computer fans yesterday, and they're going to be here Tuesday. So
Well, there
I
might be.
thought the same thing.
Yeah, they announced. They made an announcement saying they're going to do
Yeah,
that.
they
but
did.
I don't know if
Well, I
that's
think
something.
so what I think the announce. So I read their announcement, and then I read what the news reports were, and they seem to be two different things. They said that they would be prioritizing incoming shipments of supplies.
Products to their warehouse. That's it. Yeah.
That's what I read, and then a lot of the news reports said, "Oh, Amazon's going to stop shipping, things that aren't medical supplies." And I don't think that's. I think it was more of a we're not going to restock CPUs. We're going to stock disinfectant wipes and paper towels and food and stuff like that.
So you're saying that the news media wouldn't accurately report on this?
No, did you see Donald Trump rail that NBC reporter?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So yeah, I mean, here's the thing though. This is the argument I'd make against towards Gene is the products that are from China probably have been sitting in the United States for months, in all likelihood. And most products coming from China come over on a boat because that's the most cost-effective way to ship mass quantities of things. So if you're buying I bought a little magazine reloader for my pistol. That was made in China. Little plastic part. That thing's probably been sitting in the US for 6 months.
Well, even if
Yeah.
it just came over, it's so that's the stuff in the box. I'm not worried about. I'm worried about the outside of the box.
Yeah.
And then they seem to have addressed it, but I'm still going to take precautions when something gets delivered. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah. I don't think it should survive inside the box. That's the good news, unless there's something we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the news this morning was that Walmart and Amazon are going to hire about another 100,000 people.
I saw that.
To be able to keep up with what's going on. Okay, guys, I'm going to get off the phone and go back to the computer.
All right, Gene.
Thanks, Gene.
All right, thanks, Gene.
Bye.
Yeah.
Take care.
So what does it look like on the other side here? That's the question.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Hopefully, everything will be fine. Hopefully. You got to
Yep.
keep a positive attitude.
Oh, I am. I run into stuff every day, people screaming about the worst,
Yeah.
and I don't gravitate towards that. So,
But back to working from home that you guys were talking about. I guess it's also different if you work from home and people come in and out. It's n- not as not for you probably, but if your wife's at home and kids are at home and the neighbor brings the kids over because they want to go somewhere, and so it can be very distractive.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't have
Their office.
home offices.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
now some people do, but some people don't, and that yeah, I see a lot of people that are probably set up on dining room tables, which is great. Works in the short term, but that's
I
yeah,
have two nephews who are both IT guys. One works for Kennesaw State University as an IT person, and the other works for a big telecom outfit up in Maine. And both of them were responsible for setting up thousands of new remote connections.
yeah, we did a
Thousands.
bunch.
Oh my God! And they just, especially Matt down at Kennesaw State, that was unbelievable. What they went through. But they got it done. I
Yep.
mean, it was just they just literally were working 20 hours a day trying to get this stuff set up. It's still got some bugs in it, but literally setting people up with phone, internet, everything they need at home.
Yeah, we did an
Oh,
incredible amount of VPN connections over the past 7 days.
So,
Now,
Nick,
fortunately, what'd you say?
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, fortunately for us, we sell VoIP phones. So, I mean, that I'll tell you what, that is the biggest. If you're a company that still has an internal PBX, this thing should be, and you're trying to do teleworking, this should be a huge wake up call that you need to switch to a cloud SIP VoIP provider because our customers that we've switched over to the platform that we like, just buy a $15 PoE injector from Staples, bring that guy home, plug it in, and you're on the network. You're good to go.
or have the capability of doing, as long as you have some type of a SIP core going where you can do um, call redirection.
Yeah,
So you can say all my business calls are remapped to my home phone.
true.
So
But you lose the
yeah,
ability to
yeah.
transfer and park and do all
See,
that stuff.
but it's still you can in the app you can still do that stuff.
Yeah,
So
you
you
can.
place a call from your PC in the app.
Mhm.
Your phone rings first, your home phone, and then it rings through to the next party. So you don't even have to have a phone necessarily,
Yeah,
as
true.
long as you
So
have a line.
that's what I was going to ask you, Nick. So
Mhm.
normally you sit in the office
Yep.
and the phone customer calls.
Yep.
Either you answer or somebody else answers,
Yep.
right?
So we've got
S-
a call group that's our main call group. So all the
Okay.
calls that come into any of our numbers ring to that group, and anybody that's logged into that group, their phone rings.
So now how does it work? In the same way?
Everybody's logged into the group at their house, and everybody's phone rings simultaneously. Whoever grabs it first takes the
Okay.
call.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's super convenient.
Yeah.
I haven't seen there hasn't been any effect for me working at home, productivity wise. But
Maybe
I,
what you
I,
need to do, maybe what you need to do is buy one of those Chinese folding walls, you know what I'm talking about? And
yeah,
just put
no,
it
I
around
got
you
you.
and
I
you
just
cubby, make a cubby kind
Yeah,
of.
make a cubby here, and then at 5 o'clock, I can knock it down and then sit here
Yeah,
for
and
another
now you have a
6
big
hours,
room.
another 8 hours. So
I'll
that's been
make
the
a
only thing that's been a little frustrating, and I've unfortunately been just going out because I don't like sitting here all.
Mhm.
I'll make a shameless plug for XSplit because they have their VCam, they call it,
Yeah.
which is the poor man's version of Broadcaster. It is just a virtual camera that wipes out the background. You don't even
Oh,
have to have
nice.
a green screen. And it
Hmm.
works. I tried it. I set it up on my other machine, and you don't even need a green screen. So you can put up whatever background you want. It's their kind of an entry level product. It's not tied to Gamecaster or Broadcaster. It's
Hmm.
just a simple virtual camera, and you put up a background. You sit there, and it can deal with. And I had my office background, which is a total mess, and it was able to filter out all of that background
That's awesome.
with
I
no
know
green screen.
the Mac, photo app, Photo Booth or whatever did that for the longest time, and there was never really a good PC alternative. That's probably it. Um,
Yeah.
now now what I will say, a cool thing you're starting to see is some of these companies, making their products available to people free of charge for the next 90 days in hopes that obviously there's a greater agenda here, and that's no fault of them. This is how business works. Yeah, the idea would be that after 90 days of using the service, you go, "Wow, damn, this thing is awesome. We're gonna go ahead
Yep.
and purchase this and implement it for our company." So
And it
I know
will happen. You're right.
Zoom.us has been the big one.
Mhm.
They had 90 million downloads on their mobile app in the
Wow.
past 3 weeks. I was I bought some of their stock 2 weeks ago when this all started, and it's been on a solid climb.
I heard a lot of schools are using Zoom.
Everybody's using Zoom. Why?
Yeah.
There's no reason you wouldn't. It's complete.
Yeah.
They're charging nothing for it. Completely free, unlimited account. It's they'll probably be the biggest winner out of all of this because so many people are using. It's the #1 app on the App Store under Tele or whatever video sharing video app it's under, um, and everybody is using Zoom.
Yeah,
So
they
good
even
for them.
said that Microsoft is worried about it because it's taking over Teams.
Nobody uses Teams.
Yeah, well, so
I
but
I had a conference call the other day and they sent me a team invitation. It
Yeah.
took 15 minutes for me to get the invitation.
So you want to hear something crazy? Right now on iOS, the top free app on the entire iOS App Store is Zoom Cloud Meetings, above TikTok and above the Breaking News app. The top free app on the entire App Store. That's
It's
that's
even
impressive.
it's even bigger than the toilet paper finder app.
It is, yeah, which I'm
Yeah.
working on right now. It'll be out next week.
In today's specials, I actually have links
Oh,
to
Jesus.
toilet paper resources.
Arnie Carl is
Great.
saying that Zoom is hosted in China.
Well, they're a
Could be-
US-based
could be.
company, and they have servers everywhere. I'm sure there are servers in
Yeah.
China.
I mean, when I call them, it's right here in the States.
They're based in California. They're on trade, and they're traded on the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah. But there is a something to worry about here, about working from home. Because
Yeah.
as law firms urge attorneys to work from home during the global pandemic, their employees' confidential phone calls with clients run the risk of being heard by Amazon and Google. And this big law firm that was advising Princess Diana back when issued advice to staff to mute or shut off listening devices like Amazon Alexa or Google's voice assistant when they talk about client matters at home. According to a partner at the firm, it suggests not to have any of the devices near their workspace at all. Their warning covers any kind of visual or voice enabled device, like Amazon and Google speakers, but video products such as Ring, which is also owned by Amazon, and even baby monitors and closed circuit TVs are also a concern. They also said that the firm worries about the devices being compromised, less so with name brand products like Alexa, but more so for the cheap knockoff devices. So, yeah, we were talking about it for a long time that people are listening to Alexa, people are listening to Google Assistant and other things. They can see what's going on Ring and things like that. So, especially if attorneys,
Okay.
it's
So
something to worry about. I don't know.
it is, but why are we not worrying about our own privacy? Now we all of a
true,
sudden care
true.
about our privacy
Well,
because some stupid ass attorney has got to deal with it. I mean,
Well, the thing is that the firm is worried about uh, attorney-client
I understand
business,
that.
and
I would
they
make the argument that your privacy is just as important
Oh,
as that, if not more
absolutely.
important. So that's what I'm saying is, because
Well,
because,
maybe maybe
obviously there are conversations you would or wouldn't have with an attorney that would be incredibly confidential and private.
Right.
I'm not taking that away, but why not just say, "Hey, these devices in general
Yep.
suck," and you probably should.
well,
have them.
maybe
So,
that will lead to that people will
Yeah.
say, "Oh, look, I mean, they were telling, I mean, and look what
yeah, but how am I
happened
going to
here."
how am I going to have my grocery shopping list?
Well, after business.
Yeah, but I mean, every I can't have a grocery list without my Amazon device. I literally can't make a list. There's no other way for me to make a shopping list without my Amazon device.
So, well,
Like,
I wish
there's
there
no
was
way I could write it down. There's no way I could put it as an app on my phone. I have to. I
Yeah.
have to be able to walk into the kitchen and say, add popcorn to my shopping list. But if I don't do that, I might starve to death. I will die, and it will be your fault.
If you sit at your desk like this and you talk to Alexa, wherever it is,
Mhm.
does it hear you?
Yeah, it's right behind. I live in a 430
Yeah,
square
no,
foot
I
apartment.
mean, you said you have to walk to the kitchen. And,
Well, I mean, walk to the kitchen. I mean, like I can walk to the. My hand is in the kitchen right now.
yeah.
So it's the truth. I'm not kidding. I live in an
Yeah,
apartment.
yeah,
Our
yeah,
apartments are they're small. I live by myself. Yes,
yeah.
and it's funny when I say the "Hey G" word, my phone goes off, and then the um, little smart speaker I have in my bedroom upstairs also go off,
Oh,
and my
boy.
TV goes off too. So it's a very complicated situation here.
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, other than, uh, what would be nice to have a little fob. Press it and it turns it on. Press it and it turns it off.
Yeah, I've got one of those. I've got a Wemo on my Wi-Fi router.
And how does that work?
I press the Wemo and it turns off the Wi-Fi and the internet. No devices can listen to me
Yeah,
then.
but here you need to cut the power off, kind of, because
Oh, okay, I could do that too. I mean, you could put like a breaker panel, jab something in
but
your
wait a
breaker box.
second. But wait a second. If the Alexa is connected
joking.
to, yeah, I
I'm
know. I'm
joking.
sorry.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, you are joking?
Yeah, could you put a Belkin Wemo, one of those smart switches on your Wi-Fi router, and you turn it off, and the Wi-Fi would turn off. You wouldn't be able to turn it
Oh,
back
you
on.
won't be able to turn it back on.
But you're secure.
Needs to be an
That's true.
IP. It needs to be an IP based, like those switches that we used to have, the power switches.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
the
true.
IP switches, the
those
data
guys
center
are.
stuff. The
They
data
make some
center
cheap
stuff.
ones of those now. They're like $70, and they're dual outlet on Amazon.
Yeah. Ah,
Sorry,
all right.
sorry, that's not cleared to be shipped. You can't have that.
Sorry,
It's not essential.
central to me.
Just need 2 routers, that's all.
I like this idea. There you go.
Hey, Steve Gibson was saying that years ago. 2 routers.
Steve Gibson also has coronavirus, so take his what
Yeah.
he says
He's
to
got his
heart.
new his new ScanDisk software scans for coronavirus.
Yeah, it's great. Written in DOS, hasn't been updated in 40 years.
Uh,
I wonder
I
if
used
you
to.
could take, actually, I mean, there's simple ways to fix it. If you could take a little roll of foam and wrap it around the device, if it will limit the distance that it works with. And then you really need to walk like 2 feet away from it to talk to activate it.
You
But if
can,
Well,
but at
I
that
can tell
point,
you the solution with the Echo. You have like 4 or 5 different wake words, and so each room can have a different wake word. So instead of one room saying Alexa, in another room I say Echo, in another room I say computer,
no,
right?
but that's not the
So
problem. The
You just
problem,
woke up everybody's Alexas just now.
no,
probably.
the problem is that even if you don't activate it, they say it can still record what you're talking about in the room.
Because it has to buffer the
So
conversation.
the
I don't know if
the
that's true or not.
the component, the local component,
Yeah.
right, is always recording. That's true, and it has a buffer, probably 5 to 10 second long, maybe 5 seconds sounds more than enough. And all it does is analyze whether it has the wake word in them, right? Once that's activated, that's when the recording of a longer period starts. Now, there's a lot of times when you say something and it's close, really close to what the wake word is, and suddenly you see it light up, right? When
Well,
it lights up, that's when it's recording and preserving that, not just, you know, validating
I
or whatever.
think what people are worried about is when you don't see it light up and when you don't activate it and it's
It
just
doesn't
sitting
go
there.
it doesn't go online. And the reason I'm saying that in certainty, right,
Yeah.
is there. First of all, just activate some sort of sniffer and you'll see it. And that's for if you're technical enough, you can do it. There, it makes zero sense cost-wise, processing. You wanna preserve power and all of that. Nobody has reported that these machines are talking to home all the time, right? And so if that would have happened, so yeah, maybe none of our listeners have the technical know-how of how to track that, but those who do have looked into it, and this is not what's happening.
What was
So
that? What was the lawsuit that was out there? It was a couple years ago about how law enforcement was subpoenaing recordings of Alexa
Right.
because of a murder that happened, and they were saying, "Well, it's now is that a misconception? They thought it was recording." That got proven to be, well, there's nothing there to subpoena, or was there something that was an old policy that's been changed since that happened?
I I doubt it was even recording. And the police were saying, "Hey, there's the microphone here. Maybe somebody's recording," and it just became a news item. It was
Yeah.
probably at the first year that he was out, and there was a lot of misunderstanding of how this thing even works, right? Uh, um, I remember the talk about it. I remember nothing coming out of it. Also, it's just media hype.
It's very possible that
It
there
is
was nothing
possible
to
to
it.
create. It is possible to create something that will record all the time. It's not. It's really easy to do. Somebody may be able to even hack an Alexa device, right? I'm not saying
That they couldn't.
anybody can. I mean, somebody probably from within Amazon, right, can probably hack an Alexa device to record everything, stream everything online, and still not activate the ring. But
Right.
that needs to be pinpointed. That needs to be intentional, and that needs to be designed, right? It doesn't make sense, right? As a product, as you want to create a surveillance, I would trust less $30 camera that you put at home just for fun and you can access from your mobile phone, and it's created by an unknown entity,
Right.
right? That I would actually do not trust. First of all, the volume of data that we're talking about that's going to their servers is probably very, very small compared to an Amazon Echo, right? Which they've managed to sell very well. And there, I am a lot more concerned because I don't know who is behind it and why I got it for so cheap.
There's a, go ahead, sorry.
No, that's it.
I was going to say there's an update to the Alexa recording story, that there was actually a subpoena in Florida back in November this year, 2019. But
Okay.
they said the expectation level has been changed. The original story was because of something that happened in Arkansas, where they um, were under the impression that it recorded everything. So now they understand that if they do get voice recordings, which do exist,
Yeah.
they're not necessarily going to be a treasure trove of information, but they were able to subpoena and obtain Alexa voice recordings in a murder back in November, because a man's woman died of a spear wound to the chest in Florida.
A spear?
Spear. I
Let's
think it
put it
was
this
like a
way.
spear fishing spear.
Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was, he said it was an accident.
That sounds like a Florida crime, right?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Oh,
but
woohoo.
uh, but that's the thing. Like, if you want to leave evidence, right, and you have these devices, make sure that while you're being attacked, call your Google device,
That's right.
call your
Help!
Amazon.
think
I'm
that's-
being murdered.
Yeah.
I think that's
Help!
happened. I think that's happened. Where people did shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's interesting because I just as you say, there's no evidence, they say, no substantial evidence that echo speakers record continuously, only for the brief time after the wake word.
No, I mean, come on. They don't have a lot of memory in them, right? Anything that is recorded needs to be sent online. Now, if you really want to know what your Alexa has recorded about you, it's very easy to access. Just go to alexa.amazon.com, right?
You know,
And then you
log
can
in.
go to the activity and you can listen to, I think it's in the home, and you can listen to what you told it, what you said it, especially in situation. It's very interesting in situation where it just lit up accidentally, or when it didn't understand you, right? And it actually writes what it thought you said, and you can compare that, and you can delete those as well. There's
Mhm.
a there's an option to delete.
I think it's a really good idea that they've limited the wake words and not had programmable wake words. Because think about it, what if your wake word was "oh baby"? You you never know what it's going to record.
Well, yeah, that's true. I think that the reason they have limited is still a technical
Oh no, I
limitation.
realize that. I would love to have a
Yeah.
personalized wake word.
But
But
I'll tell
I-
you that when Amazon introduced computer into it, I was all over it. It's like finally I got the Star Trek themed
So
smart.
now you can plant, you could theoretically plant a Alexa, if you could change the wake word, plant one somewhere in somebody's house where they didn't know. And
Yeah, I mean
the
that's definitely
activation
a
could be the
possibility.
word "the." Every time you say "the," Alexa turns on. So interesting. What was wasn't there some another case recently? I don't know if it was Alexa, but somebody who has a presence in the home was actually employees were actually listening to live video audio from people. And maybe it was
That was
an
Amazon.
alarm company. What was it?
It was Amazon.
Was Amazon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a couple months ago. It was like 6 months ago.
Yeah. Well, they were
Employees were listening in.
Yes.
they were listening
yeah.
in just for fun. And people found out because they were actually sharing the conversations with people
Oh,
as a
man.
joke. Yeah, did you hear what this person said? And they found out it was happening. It wasn't on a large scale, but it was actually happening.
You
I'm
were
guessing
saying,
those
Nick?
guys were fired, right?
Oh, they were. Yes.
Yeah.
Think about
There's no-
think about the well, they got past that PR disaster pretty quick.
Nick, you were trying to say something?
About
What
I
wasn't
don't
it?
know.
I don't know.
Wasn't there something like this with Ring?
Maybe it was Ring.
I think it was Ring, not
Yeah, I
not
think it was Ring, not
and
not
Amazon bought them, or who
Yeah,
bought
and
Ring?
Amazon.
That's
Now
the
it's one
thing.
and the same.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I think that's the thing. It was Ring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Amazon heard that
I remember that.
people can listen to Ring, so they bought it.
I like that.
Could be.
And what do you
There's
mean
a-
they don't have much memory?
There's a lot of really
Guys,
good.
guys, you know how heavy they are? Open one of them. There's a stack of about 128 gig Sims in there. I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
The
If
good
that
news
was
is
true,
there's
let's put it this way. If that was true, I would buy them just to shuck the memory.
yeah.
um,
Think about how many good Ring alternatives are out there now.
now, going back
Inexpensive.
to people are at home and all that. So Amazon Prime Video and the world's second largest streaming service is set to join YouTube and Netflix to reduce the speed of streams across Europe to make sure broadband network can handle the surge in usage as millions are confined to their home. There was also a story that YouTube in Europe is going to SD, no more HD for the duration, in order to save on bandwidth. So the thing is, I don't understand. Anybody that works from home is using their home bandwidth. So that means that the bandwidth that was used from the office is reduced.
Unless they're VPN'd in, which a lot of people are.
Yeah, but
And then in case you're using double the bandwidth because you're using the bandwidth on your end
on
and
your
using the
end and
bandwidth on the
over there
office's
too.
end.
True.
Yeah, the internet, there's a lot more traffic on the internet than normal.
And VPNs are nailed up bandwidth. It's
Yeah.
always on. So you're not freeing
Yeah.
up bandwidth when you're not having a conversation. It's always up.
Yeah. We use our VPN and it works great.
There's a short story that's very interesting. It says that NASA needs 215 more petabytes of storage by the year 2025 and expects Amazon Web Services to provide the bulk of that capacity. However, the space agency didn't realize this would cost it plenty in cloud egress charges.
Yep.
As in, it will have to pay for as scientists download its data. A lot of people are not aware that.
Of course, it's a government. NASA doesn't care. They have billions of dollars a year in government funding. They don't care.
I don't understand why they don't set up their own.
Because that would make too much sense. Instead, we'll just pay Amazon, who doesn't pay any federal
Huh?
income tax, a bunch of money. I mean, what a great idea.
And for those that are like, you know, in a lot of cheaper backups and VPSs and all that, you don't pay to upload to the site or to back up.
But you
But-
pay to download it.
Right. You pay it when it's time for you to download if you need to download something.
I had to recover data for a customer with Carbonite.
Mm-hmm.
And I did tell them, request the disk, because even if it costs you money, it's going to be a lot easier. But it took
Yeah,
me,
absolutely.
you can only download, I think it's 10 meg at a time, or I don't remember
I don't know.
what the limitation was, but there's a certain file. I was downloading individual files, and I had to go through this long list of files and click. And as soon as I got to the maximum, I had to stop. Then it would create a zip file, which is what I downloaded. And about 50% of the zip files were corrupted. So it took a long time to download the data. No, but it worked, but it just was very tedious.
Anyway. Vince, you ready to do the specials?
Well, it's kind of like special.
It's good information.
It's a special. It's the bunker hunker special. That's what we're calling it today. So
let's see.
If you're wondering, I mean, it's just exploded ideas for people who are forced to stay at home. What do you do? So I'll share with you some of the good sites that I found over the last couple of days, just looking around. So Computers 2K Now specials from March 22nd. Not quite in lockdown yet, but potential for it. But what if you're a family and suddenly you and your kids are all home and you're going to be there for potentially, now that it's possible, they're saying in North Carolina that the school year is over, that they're not going to bring kids back till the fall. So what do you do? So here is a great webpage that's available with all kinds of information about resources for home teaching your kids at home. So you can go to this link, and it's got potential lesson plans. It has ideas on how to give kids projects. This is great. So you're going to have to take an active role here and not just, all right, let's put Disney Plus on, just call me later kind of a thing. You don't want to do that. So you want to actually this is your chance to get involved in the way your kids are educated. Maybe it'll be a little eye-opening. So here's the link for that.
And let me just mention to the listeners that you can always later on go to Computers 2K Now and click on the specials, and you will get this file again.
Yes. This one in particular, this link is to YouTube resources for Teach at Home. There's lots of other places. There's people are providing, like I said, free lesson plans, free videos, free documents for you to set up. And even if it doesn't exactly match your local curriculum, your local school may not be providing you with a lesson plan. It doesn't mean you can't do something on science, do something on, give the kids a reading assignment. This is just your opportunity now, especially if your kids are younger, to get them used to this.
Yep.
So take advantage of it. I know if you're working from home, it could be hard, but hey, it's going to be hard. Another part of this is, all right, you've got these kids at home, some of them are younger, and maybe they don't understand or probably don't understand what's happening. And they may catch glimpses of the news and have the crap scared out of them. So here is a resource: how to talk to your child. What do I do? What do I do? Kidshealth.org. And they've got information here on, what, how to talk to your child, what information is good depending on their age, and how you can support them and try to, get rid of some of the fear that's there. Well, so we've talked about children. What about yourself? I don't know if anybody's familiar with mindfulness. Mindfulness is a meditation technique that helps you deal with stress. It's very simply, it is a way for you to try to concentrate on what's happening now in your life, not what happened and have regrets, or what, gee, if this doesn't go right, it's going to be horrible in the future. It's a way that you can kind of let those thoughts go. Some people get anxiety attacks, especially now. What's going to happen? And I'm so scared about what's going to happen. Well, worrying about what hasn't happened yet, unless it's truly a preparation thing, isn't helping you. So I've actually taken a course in mindfulness. It's very helpful. But here is an online course on YouTube. I went through the first couple of lessons, just to check them out to make sure that this is valid. But mindfulness-based stress reduction course. If you have some time, check it out. It's really a good way to kind of get your head together here, that you can be better prepared for what's happening next. Okay, on the lighter side now, I heard about one museum in particular. Actually, it was an aquarium down in Georgia. The Georgia State Aquarium is offering virtual windows into their big tanks live that you can just stream to. You can go to the shark tank, you can go to the reef tank. Very soothing to just watch this stuff. It's better than watching the nonstop "you're all going to die" news. But here is a list of virtual tours of museums, zoos, theme parks. The theme park one is pretty interesting. Virtual connections to theme parks. Well, I don't know. For me, I don't think I'd want to watch a virtual showing of what other people are doing to have fun in a theme park when I'm not there. But not really sure how they do that. But the aquarium stuff is good. This particular link has the Shed Aquarium in Chicago, um, uh, Metropolitan Museum of Art exhibits, things like that. So this could be really good for soothing places to go. All right, so you're home. Your kids are bored, you're bored. What is there in the way of online games that are family friendly? Here is another list now. GameLikeZones.com has provided online family games that you can play that are good for kids. In this case, the ones that they're mentioning here are 8+. There probably are some places that have games for younger children that you can do online. But hey, the one that they talk about, this um, first one here, which is, I think it's Animal Jam. Everybody gets assigned an animal avatar in the game. It's kind of fun. So parents, kids can all play together. And here you go. There's a way to maybe schedule some time every day.
The new Call of Duty is also a fun game.
Yeah. They have the version for 3-year-olds.
Yeah, and it's the new mode is free, so you
got to get
play.
that high hand-eye coordination going as early as possible.
Yeah, and it's only 147 gigabytes to download, so enjoy.
Oh man, but I digress. All right, another learning skills here. a link. This is from Money Magazine, school closed activities. And this isn't just necessarily, homeschooling. This is art projects, things to do around the house. What do you do if you have no way to get out and get supplies? There are things that you can do just with stuff around the house. Build that, what do you call it? The baking soda and vinegar volcano you always wanted to make, right? There you go. All right. So humor in a crisis. Here's a bunch of links to crisis themed humor. And some of this is pretty good. One of them is the meme one on here. Yes, the last one, Digital Mom, which is safe memes, funny memes about a crisis. All right, so say you're in your apartment, Nick, and you need something to do in your small place. Here you got 7 decluttering projects for when you're stuck at home. Go through that closet.
Honestly, I was like, oh, this is great. I can finally clean up my apartment. I've been home for a week. I haven't touched it. If anything, it's gotten worse.
I actually have all the supplies in the house to do 2 things. One is to finish painting the downstairs of our house, the back 2 rooms, which are the largest 2 rooms downstairs, kitchen and family. I have all the paint, everything I need. The second thing is I have all the paint and supplies I need to paint my pickup truck.
Oh, yeah.
Ending stuff. I've got my new compressor. I've got the bits I need to make my new compressor work. Now I just have to figure out how I'm going to do it. So, but I'm ready. I'm ready with projects. But here, Tree Hugger offers 7 decluttering projects. One of them is just take everything you own and throw it away. Very simple. Right? Hey, right? It's simplifying your life. You just have 2 things, a toothbrush and a washcloth. What could be worse? All right, and finally, last thing on the second thing from the bottom on the list here is toilet paper resources. This is not a joke. Some of it's funny, but because of the way people were hoarding toilet paper, there must be something bent in people's heads that they don't understand how much toilet paper they actually use. So if you want a calculator, they call the site control and roll. How much toilet paper do we really use? So if you need to know, you can find out. CNET has how to make your own bidet at home with things you find around the house.
Just take the garden hose with the water.
Whoops, I forgot to turn the pressure down. So this is actually serious. Very funny. And fun. USA Today. Now this is actually from the 11th, so this is older information. But this is where you can still find places to buy toilet. I understand that some places are being restocked. I've actually seen people put pictures.
Everywhere they're restocking.
They're restocking. So things are getting better. The last couple of times I've been through stores that shelves, paper products, paper towels, wipes, all that stuff, gone. Just empty shelves with signs on them saying, we hope to restock soon.
There's a guy somewhere in the United States that has a lot of paper. I mean,
he bought all that stuff, and Amazon wouldn't let him
sell it. Yep.
And now he wound up donating because nobody would buy it from him. So he wound up donating it. So there you go. Some people wanted him arrested because he was gouging.
Big time.
But interesting. And finally, of course, there's all kinds of wacky stories out there. Coronavirus side stories that prove this entire crisis is weird. So Cracked, which is famous for its accurate reporting, has a bunch of, actually they have had some interesting stuff appear on Cracked. I wouldn't necessarily trust it, but here is a coronavirus side stories that prove that this is weird. So enjoy. I mean, it's if anybody has good links that they find, stick them in the chat, and maybe we can start to compile a list of useful stuff. Oh, I was going to put, I'll find this, but if you're in North Carolina, my son actually sent me a link to a series of Reddit posts done by a local state senator that's got good local timely information that I'll stick it in the chat. And that's it for specials for March 22nd, 2020.
Thanks, Spence.
You're welcome.
That was a lot of fun. But it's good information in there. A lot of good information. Absolutely. Hannah's needed some paper
All right,
towels.
I just saw John's comment in the text in the Grand Theft Stroller. That's good. That's good. So you beat yourself senseless with a baby rattle?
No, but she needed some paper products and some other stuff, and Kathy went in her storage room and she got a pack of uh, paper towels and a pack of toilet paper and some fruit and stuff. Hannah wouldn't come in the house. She made Kathy put the bags outside on the uh, sidewalk so she could pick it up. And I was just walking by the door. I said, "What's the matter? Are you sick?" She said, "No, I don't want to expose you guys. I've been out there, so I'd rather not come in." Which I thought
Probably
about.
prudent with the fact that we've got a new grandchild. We've been doing
Yeah,
doing FaceTime calls. We did see them over a week ago, but now we've decided that's it. We're not.
yeah. No, I mean it made sense after a while. I said, "Well," but yesterday Katie and Donna came over, and we were talking, and I was saying that, boy, it's been almost 4 weeks that I haven't been out of the house.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Your circumstances is not related to
no,
coronavirus.
it's not. It's my
That that
herniated disc.
that ankle bracelet doesn't let you move the house, right?
But Donna said, "Well, then we know you're not a carrier now."
That's right. Right. Yep.
But Hannah was saying, by the time this is over, I'm going to have the cleanest apartment in Raleigh.
Yep.
Because that's what you do.
Yep.
Um,
I
on
actually
the, go
went
ahead.
through and spent hours cleaning up my password lists. I've had like a little small fireproof box that I've just every time I get a new password. I used to have a spreadsheet that I kept up to date reasonably well. Well, that stopped a couple years ago. But every time I'd start a new password, a new login, I'd write it on a piece of paper and stick it in there. So now been going through that and just organizing everything, looking through my online password tool, my spreadsheet, the stuff I have on my phone, and just consolidating everything, verifying the links work, updating passwords. Hours I spent on this, but I would never have done it.
Well,
And it was good because I was using the same password for everything. I had to come up with.
oh.
No, I wasn't.
Well, Windows 10 now running on over 1 billion monthly active devices.
How
Just
many of
6
those
months.
devices are Microsoft machines?
Well, yeah. Just 6 months
I mean,
after
Microsoft
passing.
owned.
Huh?
Microsoft owned, I mean.
Just 6 months after passing the 900 million device milestone. So finally, Windows 10 is celebrating 1 billion.
What was it? Recently, I dealt with some driver issues with Windows 10. And that it's amazing how I think part of the reason they got to that number is because of the forced obsolescence of some older machines because drivers are not available for some older laptops, or even just support for apps are not available. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy, but they have to draw the line somewhere. The database of drivers got to the point where it was insane, especially with Microsoft being the repository. A lot of vendors were just sending them their drivers to be included in the database of for Windows, and it got to the point where the vendors don't have them anymore. You have a machine that's a certain vintage, and you'll go to the web page. Oh, I need to download the drivers. And say, well, they're all included in Microsoft X or something version this. Well, what if I'm not running that? Where do I get the driver? So you go out and search for a generic driver or try to find out who made the chipset or whatever. So very interesting.
No. On the sort of the good news thing, says that as millions of Americans hunker down to slow the spread of the virus, broadband networks are seeing a significant spike in usage. While industry insiders say that the U.S. internet should be able to handle the strain, overall, broadband availability, affordability, and slow speed could pose a serious problem for many household U.S. residents. I don't know if slowness is going to pose a serious problem.
Did you hear the story about Netflix being asked to throttle
Yeah,
in Europe? Yeah.
yeah. I think they're doing it here too. But
I'm okay with that. I don't mind
I mean, if
watching
it's
lower
if
resolution as long as you don't get the hourglass running to try to load something.
Gal, you're quiet.
Uh, playing with chroma cam, which is like what Spence described
Oh,
in
look at you.
yeah.
It's still it's
Zoom actually has their own version of that too. That they
wait.
Yeah,
Let him.
Zoom isn't as good as this. I remember because we use Zoom for work, and I mean my background is noisy.
Yeah,
go ahead and
is there
just
is
turn that back on again. Let's see what it looks
yeah?
like.
Yeah.
Are there any adjustments?
No, I just need to switch the cam to the chroma cam after it's installed. I had to log into their service. This is the free version, so it has a watermark there in the background, but it works pretty well. And I'm guessing that if you can also display PowerPoint and stuff like
That's
that.
Not bad.
nice.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just color the background. Maybe you just wanna.
I'm worried more about the glitches.
Yeah, so there are a few. If I
Yeah.
move a
No,
lot,
even
and
if you don't move a lot,
you
lot of
see
that.
it eat through me.
even if you
But
don't move a lot.
yeah, I mean it's not perfect, but
Yeah.
it's not bad.
No, not at all.
And this was like easy to install and run, so definitely worth a shot. Uh, does XSplit have a free version? I think they're
They do. Now
okay.
I'm not. I can't be sure. I think it's watermarked, but
Yeah, I'm guessing free will be watermarked. The question is how bad. This isn't bad. What I'm getting here.
I
So
download now. I have a lifetime subscription to XSplit. I got in on that, paying once forever, so I can download it. Not worry about it. So I'm using the
For what you're
paid version.
doing, Gal, I mean, if you really wanted to get into something different, you can download. I mean, you can buy a version of VMix. What was it, Nick? $60?
virtual camera
Which
manager.
oh no, it's a full, but it doesn't have many inputs like a lot of
Oh, right.
cameras and all that. But for what you're doing,
It's not going to do that chroma keying though, like that.
oh, it won't.
Well, it does a chroma key, but like a green screen chroma key, not a
Yeah,
background
yeah.
remover.
I understand. That's
Yeah,
right. It does.
The Zoom one actually says, you know, we recommend that you use a green screen. You can use it without it, and they give you instructions on how to do both.
Yeah, and it doesn't work well without an actual green
Yeah,
screen in the background.
and yeah, and then you need the lighting and all that. Yeah, never mind.
I
S-
wonder. I'll
So
try this. I'll try this in the office where I mean my background here is probably now that I've looked at it, it's rather uniform, right? I wonder at my office, it's a lot noisier. There's a person sitting behind me and all that. Wonder how that will look.
XSplit
But
has a feature where you can turn on like a background tool to show you spots that you might want to deal with in your background to say
mm,
if this particular zone has an issue, it'll actually point it out to you to say I can go back there, and if it's something that's you can move or whatever to clean your background up a little bit more.
Nick,
so
you were yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, so I saw a link in here in the chat about NASCAR today is doing a what they're calling their Pro Invitational. They're doing it virtually. So they've got a bunch of NASCAR drivers that have got these NASCAR rigs in their house with like the 3 screens and everything,
Oh,
and they're running a virtual race today at 1:30 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. And I believe Jeff Gordon and the other guy from Fox NASCAR are going to be calling it. So it looks like Denny Hamlin and a bunch of other literal NASCAR drivers
And
are
nobody
going to
can
be
get
doing this
hurt,
virtual race.
right?
Which that
No one can get hurt.
no, I mean somebody's feelings could get hurt.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they're doing this today. It's at 1:30 on 1:30 on Fox Sports 1. So if you're looking for something to do this afternoon, there hasn't been any. Now this obviously isn't live sports, but it's a whole hell of a lot closer than as CBS was airing March Madness games from the 1980s yesterday. This will at least be live. Uh, so
I, Amnon, they can get hurt because if they have one of those gaming chairs that has the seat shaker built in, if you take away the protections there, you hit the wall, the chair will throw you out of the seat.
it's true.
Yeah, got to be careful.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, check that out.
The other thing that people can do this afternoon, well, up till it ends March 22nd at 12:59 a.m. Oh boy, don't tell me that it ended
Well,
after
then it's already
midnight.
over.
What can that be? It says for 3 days. It says Best Buy is currently offering discounts on products from Apple, Samsung, and more. The retailer is holding a 3 day sale that starts today, which was last Friday, and it ends on March 22nd at 9:59 p.m. Pacific,
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go.
12:59 a.m. Eastern. That's a type.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it should be 12 to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Eastern. Yeah.
Actually, no, it should be actually 6:59 p.m.
No, 9
It's
o'clock in
3 hours,
California is yeah,
4 hours.
they're 3 hours behind us, not 3 hours in front of us.
That's true. Oh, so it's okay. So it's actually 12:59 a.m. of the
It should be
23rd.
12:59 p.m. on the 22nd, which is a minute before
No, 12:50.
excuse me, no,
Yeah,
12:59 is wrong. You're right. No, it should be
yeah,
12:59 a.m. on the 23rd.
23rd.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to upgrade your home office or just looking for more gadgets to occupy your quarantine days, check out some of these discounts. They do
Well, man,
urge
it'd be nice if they
shoppers.
promoted it.
They apparently they have been somehow.
I'm on their website. I don't see anything on it.
Interesting. They said that they do urge shoppers to stay home and order online.
How about they close their stores?
Did
They're
they?
still open. No, they're
Oh,
still open.
yeah. Well, they urge shoppers to stay home.
Yeah, merge. Close your store. This is
Yeah.
I hate
True.
with these
True.
stupid companies.
True. They should.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, please stay home, but oh, we're gonna keep our store open, so you come in anyway. Oh no.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a MacBook Air on sale here. I might buy this.
$50.
No,
$799.
it's seven. Yeah, it went. It's $200 less.
So it's got 128 gigs of storage. I mean, give me a freaking break.
Well, you know, can't win them all.
No, of course not. Spend $1,000 on a laptop and it's got less than 200 gigs of storage. In
But the thing
2020.
is, that's what you will get if you pay the full price too. It's not,
It's true.
but if you're into Apple stuff, here's a chance to maybe buy something that you didn't buy before because of the price. The last story I have here is that researchers have discovered another big database containing millions of European customer records left unsecured on Amazon Web Services for anyone to find using using a search engine. A total of 8 million records were involved, collected via marketplace and payment system APIs belonging to companies including Amazon, eBay, Shopify, PayPal, and Stripe. This is bad. This is really, really, really bad. Gal, what happened to your video? Oh,
I just got a new notice in the mail by paper of a
yeah.
breach in, I'm not going to mention who it was, a former employer from a couple of years ago, that they finally are announcing that there was a breach and getting free monitoring for a year. I said, well, it's been over a year and a half since it happened. So
And they
is it
just,
why did it take you so long to announce it?
do you remember if that card was, if you were notified or by the credit card company and the card was replaced since?
No,
Or
this
did,
isn't a credit card thing.
oh,
This was a former, someplace I worked for a short
okay.
time,
All right.
and their database was hacked with all employee information, including social security numbers and
Yeah.
other stuff. I have 2 monitoring services in place now from past breaches.
I'm going to try to steal your identity and see what happens.
And the problem is they only last like 1 or 2 years. So it's like you hope you get breached again, so you get another year subscription for free.
So as far as Amazon, I got kind of pissed this week at them. I ordered masks, N95 masks, back in the end of January. And it was like 20 of them for $10. And it said ship. They said that it's going to get here sometime in early March. So it was a company apparently outside the US, maybe in China. I don't know. The other thing, what else did I order? There was something else. Oh, I went looking about maybe 4 weeks, a month ago, for hand sanitizer, and of course when we're selling all the Purells and they were all, come on, I'm not buying. And as you went on page 6 and page 7, I saw 4 containers of what they call X germ. And looking at the ingredients, it was the same stuff. And it was 4 16-ounce for about $17. Okay, that's more like it. So I ordered. Neither of these things showed up. I got notices from Amazon. Oh, we don't have it now, and we don't know when it's going to come here. If you want to wait, then just acknowledge here. I said, okay, fine. It's ridiculous. I mean, and these are all Prime stuff sold by Amazon, as far as I'm concerned. But to just stretch it, and they say, oh, we don't have them, and after it said shipped. And I'm saying to myself, yeah, probably because they realize that they can sell it for more later on. They're just saying that it's not, they don't have it. There is no excuses for a company to do something like that. I wish so much that Walmart had the variety. I would rather give business to Walmart. But I don't think it ever happened before. And you can say, yeah, okay, this is a special thing, and this they were not aware. No, I don't go for it. If you said that it was shipped, then it was shipped. That means you had it there, and you, even if it wasn't physically put in a box and shipped, is meaning, okay, we're doing the paperwork or whatever. That means you put your hands on it and it's there and you're processing. And I'm actually not sure that they didn't charge the card. I need to check and see. And I'm wondering what happens if after 3 months I tell them, okay, cancel it. I want a refund and I also want the interest on the card. You used my money for 3 months. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. Everybody left?
I would drive to Amazon today.
Yeah,
I'm on a
yeah, right.
demand. Just go wherever the closest location is and start just banging on the glass out front.
Well, the good thing is I've got the stuff to make our own. Uh, and
Sanitizer?
yeah, uh, Uzi went down to some town to visit a friend of his uh, around Sanford, Broadway in North Carolina, and he found in a pharmacy a bunch of alcohol. It was like $1 a bottle, $1.50 a bottle.
Moonshine?
No, just
Oh.
regular alcohol, 91. So he got some, and I told him to get me a few, and then he also found aloe vera, which I was looking again on Amazon. Doesn't exist at a good price. Found it in one of the grocery stores here. So I told him to get some, and you just mix them, and everything's fine.
You can make that a permanent solution just as you mix it together, add some crazy glue to it.
So it'll
So
stay
it'll
on your
just
hand.
stay on there all the
Yeah,
time.
it
and
will
you don't have
not
to
go
worry about
away.
it.
Yeah.
Protected.
No, but still, the best thing is just wash your hands.
Yes.
Absolutely. So where, Gal, I see some color behind you. Yep. Don't know
yeah.
why.
I was going to
Yep.
say he was out in the backyard against the brick fence in the back.
Trying to understand the features. Well, one thing compared to XSplitter, this is if you want to buy their product, it's a one-time payment, so that's nice. I don't think they have a video background like XSplit. I remember you said they have a video background, but they
Not
do
the,
have.
I don't think the VCam has a video background. It's just, well, I don't know. I have to say, I'm not sure. I have it on the other machine. I'll have to try it.
But this is
Well, I
also.
remember you put
Go ahead.
what was it? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, you put the video of the clock
Oh no,
in the background.
that's the I'm using Broadcaster for that,
Oh, okay.
not the VCam.
So
the VCam
this,
is like an entry level product.
so it's watermarked, not watermarked, but it has their logo on it.
Well, that's because I'm using the free version.
That's what I
But
mean.
if I pay them $30, then I get to put anything I want. These are the backgrounds that they have
Mhm. Oh yeah.
pre-installed. I can't replace them. Well, actually, I mean, I can try replacing the file, but I don't know if that'll work. I'm guessing they somehow preserve
Put the
the
leave that
rights.
in, no, put the bricks and move. The no, it's the same. Yeah, it still has the.
But I did find, so it has a max FPS
Mhm.
value. Now I've upped it to 30 FPS. Uh, see,
Yeah, it's still.
there's some artifacts.
Yeah,
I'm guessing the other products will be similar in this aspect.
I
This
remember
is
from the
15.
days of what was that? Shoot, what was that service that you Nick, the one that we all got into that would show you 4 people?
Blab.
Yeah, there was that guy Randy, and he was using some software that you can do this without a green screen. And it was free. I don't remember the name of it. Maybe it was this.
I'm setting up the VCam now on this machine.
That's very. It's interesting that you can do that. That's
Let's see.
what did they say now, Nick? You're into all this video stuff. Um, there is it the what's the hardware solution? The one that
TriCaster.
TriCaster can do that, or to have a background without.
I don't. I'm
They
not
were
sure.
talking about something that now you can do this without the green screen. You can do like
If you're serious about doing anything, you need to get a green screen.
yeah,
Or a blue screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anything.
a
It doesn't
mate
matter.
colored, single colored background.
I mean, you saw how Spence's green screen is, right?
Yeah.
Just
Just a
hanging on a
piece of felt hanging in the background. Oh,
Yeah.
wrinkled too.
and Gal. I mean, Shy may like it to get on Twitch and all that. Who knows?
Yeah. Interesting.
919-518-9773. Computers 2K voice on Skype. Come on, guys, call us.
My video is gonna disappear for a second while I turn off export and turn on VCam. I'll be back.
Hey Nick, say something.
Don't
No.
go.
And
Don't go.
no, I just want to see his glasses. Say something.
Yes, they're glary. I got you.
Yeah. Now
Mhm.
try my trick and raise the what do you call them? The arms, whatever,
Yeah.
Rim.
above your ear, like about an inch above your ear. Don't let
It's hard
him.
to do with head. It's hard. I can't really do that with headphones on and a hat. Yeah. Can't really do that.
Okay.
My current configuration.
Okay.
Remember, this isn't
Yeah,
this
yeah.
isn't
No,
glass.
I know.
Plastic. That's why
Yeah.
it's so glary.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's fine. Just that.
Well, yeah. These are new ones, and I think I put an anti-glaring coating on them. Yeah.
What if I
No,
put some
yours.
Rain-X on them? Will it be anti-glare?
If you put what?
If I put Rain-X on it, will it be anti-glare?
No, you need to take some Vaseline and wipe on it.
I could put some Crisco oil. Would that help?
Yeah, you can do that too.
Crisco oil will definitely work. Definitely.
Excellent. Okay, I'll do that.
I'll be right back.
All right, Spence.
I've got a great service. I found it. I found a service, a fantastic service. One of the best. A lot of people are saying the best service ever made. People are saying that. It's an open source So everybody's always been looking for the team viewer alternative, and there's a
Right.
couple of options out there. There's services like AnyDesk and Screen Connect. Um, Most of them have either a cost, like Screen Connect, or AnyDesk, which is free, but it lacks core features like an address book, which makes it pretty handicapped. There's a new service out here, relatively new service called DWS Remote Control, and it is a open source remote control service. So you download the app on your computer that you want to host, and then you do all of the remote control from a web browser, which makes it super. Now it's not as user friendly as TeamViewer. It doesn't do audio. It's not
Yeah,
TeamViewer by any
it's not
stretch of the
full feature.
imagination, but it's completely free and serves a pretty damn good purpose for what it is. And it's open source. So the hope and thought would be that at no point will it become just a complete, like a lot of these services, like TeamViewer used to be relatively uh, moderately priced, and then it became like $900 a year to use, which is just stupid. Um, so here, I'll show this real quick to you if we've got a minute.
Sure.
Damn it. So see if I can share my screen here.
Be careful in what you share.
All right, why can't I zoom in here?
No, Zoom is another service.
Control plus in. All right, so this is kind of what it looks like by the default here. So you can see it'll do a file and folder, so you can dig through your operating system, which is neat. Um, it looks like you can even download files, so that's pretty cool. So instead of having to remote control into a computer and upload something to Google Drive, you could say, "Oh, let me go to my default user and download I don't know, this PNG," and I think you just click download, and there it is. It's now downloaded and on my computer, which is pretty cool. So that's neat. Um, it's got a text editor. I don't know what that does. I guess you can save it to the local computer. It's got a log watch, which I assume is just keeping track of your logs. It'll show you full resources of the system, which is pretty neat. Um, this is a virtual machine, so I'm not sure how accurate that is or isn't going to be. And then, of course, the big feature here, which is whenever it decides to load, is the screen feature.
Right.
So you can go ahead and log right into your system and browse like it's
Oh,
anything else. It'll do Control Alt Delete. You can copy and paste from it. It has a full clipboard, which is neat. Um, all in all, the service is pretty cool. So it's called the website is dwservice.net, and open source free. You download the utility on your PC you want to control, and then you can access the nice part about it in comparison to some other services like TeamViewer or AnyDesk is that you don't have to download a client to connect from a client machine. You can use it from the web browser. So any computer that you can jump on a web browser, you can log into this and remote control your system. You don't have to download the TeamViewer app on your system.
so
So
if you wanted to get on my computer here, I
I'd
would
have to give you a
install.
link to install. Yeah, and I'd give you a specific. So if I click to install, I can generate a group, and I could say, I could create a group that's for you, and then it's unattended. This is not a remote utility agent for friends. This is an unattended access for you. Um,
Oh,
for
okay.
for for the most part, this is not. It doesn't take over TeamViewer in that regard, but for unattended access, which is what I want, um, it works pretty well. It's not as snappy. It does have quality settings, so you can set it to medium quality, and it becomes a little snappier. Um, but it definitely suffices for what it is.
Yeah,
It's
if it
relative.
accomplishes the.
Yeah, it allows you to jump on the machine, and unlike TeamViewer, it does not boot you off every 5 minutes because um, your free session time is
Yeah.
run out or whatever BS. So it works. Um,
Hmm.
It's free. It's open source, and the agent is super lightweight. This is a very low spec virtual machine I'm running it on, and it runs pretty well. So there you go.
Very nice.
bwservice.net.
So you said the open source.
Mhm.
I Where do they say that?
It says it right on the homepage, I think. Yeah, right
Well,
on the
it says
homepage.
an open source project, but
Mhm.
where's the source?
Um, Let me see.
I don't see a GitHub or maybe contribute.
Yeah, I'm
Code
looking on.
translation. Yeah, interesting. I'll check them out because one of the interesting things about good open source projects is so this obviously because it requires a login, right? It means there's some sort of server that manages the connection.
There is.
If you can, um, if you can self-host that server, then yes, that becomes a completely open source solution because you have full control of the server and the agents, and you just configure them properly. You remember Bitwarden, right? Bitwarden is the same idea. Um, it's a completely client service solution for managing passwords, and because you can they offer it for free hosted on their environment, but you can also just grab the server and run it locally. Once you
Yeah.
can self-host stuff, that's when it becomes
So it says, so right now the agent, which is the client you download, you can view the source code for that. So that's open source. And they said we are also planning to develop a simplified node version. And the node isn't the version that you host that does the remote connection. So that users can install on their own servers on which they can install the SSL certificates and they can do
Hmm.
things like that. So they're
yeah.
working towards that. This is a relatively new project from what I understand. um, yeah, they've joined. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
So
looks
this would
relatively new.
be really, really cool, and I really hope they get the funding to keep on running
Yeah.
because
So what I
they
did is that they do have a subscription service. So I paid. I do the $6 a month subscription package, um, which is just it's worth $6 a month for me.
Sure. And it's nice to help them.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you can see the list of all the people that are. If you go to the subscriber page, you can see that they've got a huge list of people that are um, helping them, keep this up to date, which is nice. Again, see, this is the crazy thing. I wouldn't pay $6 a month for any desk, but I will give these guys $6 a month because it's open source and it works well. And
right.
that's a huge disconnect that some of these larger companies have. For example, Voice Meter Banana, the audio open source audio mixer that I use. I was going to be spending almost $400 on a new mixer. I sent them $200 and called it a day. And I still saved half of what I would have having bought a physical hardware mixer. This open source model works. It really does. If you make a good service that works, I don't think I'm in the minority of people that are willing to pay what it now, of course, you've got people that don't wanna pay, and that's fine. That's part of what open source is, but I think a lot of people will and do, support open source services if they can. If it's cost effective to. I mean, if you're broke, you're not gonna spend any money on it, but in my situation, I get $6. I get at least $6 a month worth of use out of this service.
So do you remember there was a gaming company. I think they made World of Goo. Do
Oh,
you remember
yes.
that game?
Yes, I do.
And they decided to go DRM free, if I
Yep.
remember correctly. And they provided, after a year's worth of activity, they have provided stats of how much downloads they see, how much activity they see. I think there was um, a phone home option in the game or something. and they showed that compared to previously DRM um, games they had, uh, they came up with that it's approximately 10% of the actual users will actually pay the full price or something like that. Maybe it was a pay what you want scheme for a while. And when when people are invited to pay, hell, Wikipedia works that way, right?
Yep.
When people are invited to pay, then usually they happily come and join the party, right? And when you compare it to we lose someone? No, okay. And when you compare it to piracy, there's usually a lot more piracy on the DRM stuff, on the closed from the beginning. We don't want to share. There's more piracy there than with stuff that you can get for either very cheap um, or free, and a lot more are paying. So yeah, freemium works. Open source premium works even better.
It can work even better, and that's
It
part of the
needs to
key
have,
there.
yeah, it always needs to have a very, very active uh, community. That's always part of it, right? It needs
It
to be a
really
successful project, but
well, that's the key, is if you make a half-assed open source program, you probably won't make anything. But as Merle says, I send the voice meter people money every now and then. The whole voice meter project is astonishingly good. I mean, it is the whole voice meter product, from the basic voice meter up to voice meter um, cupcake or whatever stupid word that they've come for it. That's like 9 channels. It's fantastic. It's got incredible features. Everything works out of the box. It's super 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 cool, um, and that works. So
And they've
that's
been
part of
around for a long time.
yeah, they have. And let's see. Somebody just posted a link to the GitHub in chat for them for the DW service agent, so you can look at the source on that. But yeah, I mean, open source work. Potato is the big version. Yes, thank you, Merle. And yeah, I mean, open source works. It works really, really well if you make a good service that people. If you make a good open source service in which people would have to spend, this is how I think about it. In the case of remote desktop applications, there's a lot of garbage, and then there's a lot of services that are good but cost a fortune. TeamViewer, AnyDesk, Go to My PC, um, uh, uh, Join My PC, Cisco WebEx. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of these services, but they're outrageous for consumers. And for somebody like me who literally just wants to be able to remote to my little RDS server here from work, if I want to get on my network here to jump on my NAS or something like that, I'm not going to spend $30 a month on that, but I'll spend 6. And only because you gave me the option, I wouldn't pay 6 for it. It's just funny how that works from a standpoint of I don't know what you'd call it, human interaction or something.
Yeah, if they made you,
I wouldn't
you
pay
know,
for it. Any desk is a Screen Connect is like that. I wouldn't pay for Screen Connect.
I
very
don't know if I
interesting.
wouldn't pay for any desk. I mean, I actually think their service is very well, but
It is, but I
they,
mean, I
but
wouldn't pay for it if it was
I
free and
wouldn't
they let
pay
me
what they
subscribe.
need,
Yeah,
what they're asking for. If it was pay as much as you want, I would definitely pay a few bucks a month to keep them and get the features and all that, because I use it probably what, twice a month, right? Uh, that's, I need it. I like it. I can do without it, but yeah.
um, the AnyDesk version that supports address books, which is the big thing, is $21 a month.
Yeah, so I
lot.
use my Bitwarden as my address book for AnyDesk, and that's good enough for me.
There you go. That works well. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Exactly.
So if you're looking for something to try out, um,
DW.
it's dwservice.net.
It's a new service from right. The agent, the first commit is from January 2019. So yeah, everything is pretty fresh.
Yeah. So there's lots of I think they're made in Germany or something like that. So there's a lot of hope here.
Yeah, interesting. Germany is like the mecca for remote control apps.
Yeah.
Right. TeamViewer is German. I think AnyDesk as well.
So yeah, cool. Something I found this week.
Yeah, AnyDesk is German as well.
Cool.
Interesting.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And just for that tip, if you go to dudeandit.com, there's a subscription button. It's only $8 a month for you to get my recommendations on free services. Check it out.
It's right there. Dudeandit.com.
Yeah. Great. Yep.
Does that
Just
does that work
subscribe.
like the Alex Jones toothpaste against Corona?
I have the toothpaste and it does help against coronavirus. I use it every single day. It's the InfoWars Super Blue toothpaste and it does help. I do use this every day.
Have you seen Contagion from 2011?
Yeah, with the March 31st date on it.
March 31st. I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
That's like the
tidbit.
whole thing. It's taking place March 31st, 2020 is like the date that Contagion takes place.
Oh yeah, I haven't even noticed that.
We're all in a
but-
movie. Is that it?
So there's one character there, right? This internet blogger that promotes a lot of fear, and he sells like a product that cures. And I'm watching the movie, and I'm telling my wife, there's actually a guy like this on the internet today called Alex Jones. I didn't know that he was claiming that his toothpaste is. It was ridiculous.
But he wasn't, and that's the whole
Oh
thing.
no, he wasn't.
No, of
Okay, so
course not.
somewhere.
Yeah, you did see it because I read the same bullshit article. They
Okay.
always say this about him. All he said is that the nano silver that's in this toothpaste has a track record of being good with something about virus times or something like that. At no point did he ever claim that his toothpaste would stop coronavirus.
Okay.
And I may or may
So
not
it's like-
have at least 4 bottles of Super Blue that I use every day.
Who was the first one that reported that as
I
fact?
saw it on the Hill.
The Hill.
Uh,
Thehill.com, yeah.
Oh, well, they have it in for him anyway. So
Of course, yeah. Because it's funny because if you go to his website, InfoWarsStore.com, not a sponsor, and you go to the homepage, there literally is a big black banner that says, we do not recommend any of these services to fight against anything like that. Like, we have never said this. It's just funny.
it is.
so I
Spence,
loaded VCam. I had to
Yeah.
reboot to do it because I couldn't get the service to show up in Google. That's what I'm running now, and it does have some artifacts. It
Well,
doesn't
where's
like my
the-
glasses.
where's the logo?
No, I have the paid version because I have a
Oh,
lifetime
okay.
subscription.
Okay.
Now I have to try it on a machine where it doesn't already detect exploit. That's the problem. It finds exploit and says, "Oh, you're good." But it does have a few things I didn't realize. It does. You can add a background, but of 3 choices, you could have a media file. Now, when they say media file, I have to go to see if it actually will play. If it's a video. It does have a YouTube video link. You can put in the extension for a YouTube video. We'll show that in the background,
Oh, that's
or we'll
cool.
put a web page in the background. Now, it's different approach with XSplit Broadcaster. It actually has a screen capture tool that you can stretch it out and pick what you want. And within that tool, it says, are you capturing just the screen's region, the full window, a YouTube video, and it gives you options for each of those. But this is the basic basic tool, and it has a feathering capability. Watch this now. I'm going to go ahead. It'll actually diffuse or unfocus the background. You can select how much of it you want to do in the background. It has a chair removal button.
Be careful.
I know. It'll be full. I'll
Fall on your ass.
Whoa, look at that. Now, everybody, click your chair removal. Wham. So it has a tool that you click on. Now it says remove, and it just shows a black screen on your
Yeah.
side, but on my side, I can see the trouble areas in the background.
Right.
So I can address them. It gives you a crosshatch screen, and you can go in and look at it. You can see anywhere that stuff is bleeding through. It's something in the background that you might want to eliminate. So in my case, it's the boom from my mic is actually not reacting too well to it. And this
It looks
is
pretty
even though
good.
but this is even though I have the blue screen in the background here. It's not picking up on the blue screen. If I pulled it away, it would still work. So there's
Yeah.
nothing in here for do keying off of. You can't adjust the key.
Yeah. So if you have a screen you'd want to not use that because it doesn't do
Right.
good chroma key
Yeah.
stuff.
I'll
Yeah.
just move this out of the way and see what it does.
Oh my God. And look, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, look at that. Half of it is
Yeah.
keyed.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah, look at that.
wow. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty cool.
Actually works a little better without the screen in the back.
Yeah, because it's just
Yeah.
not used to handling that.
Yeah.
Going back to what Gal said, Gal, this is the claim that he got in hot water over.
Okay.
He said on March 12th, he said that the nano silver, which is in his toothpaste, which I use, super blue toothpaste, says it has a track record of killing the SARS family of diseases. That's it. And now the headline on this article is, so that's what he said. That's the quote. Alex Jones peddled a fake conspiracy cure that can turn people's skin permanently blue. So that's
What?
that's
If
yeah,
you
that's the
take
article.
if you take a lot of it, it will.
So that's what he said. That's what they quote him as saying. And then here's the CBS News article. Alex Jones accused of selling fake coronavirus cures.
Yeah, of course.
Alex Jones is told to stop selling sham anti-coronavirus toothpaste. He never said that. He literally never said that.
Yeah.
Now you guys,
I mean, it's just
you guys know I do a this point a monthly show about homeopathy,
Mhm.
and they one of the hosts sent me an email and said that they discovered somehow that there is a homeopathic remedy that can prevent or can like not vaccinate but can prevent you from easily getting. It's an old remedy, but I don't know if anybody out there is into it. It's called Arsenicum album 30C. And I figured, can't hurt you. I mean, you can take any of these at any time. It doesn't hurt. So I've been taking it. Well, it'll be interesting.
One of the information pages I read recently from a doctor, actually it was my chiropractor of all things, sent
Mhm.
an alert out saying she's also a nutritionist.
Mhm.
And she said that there are certain supplements that you don't want to take if you get the coronavirus because of the way she explained the two stages of the way the disease develops. And it's the initial stage, and then there's the stage where your body is really trying to fight it off. And there's some supplements that can actually make that worse. I don't take them. Some of them I've never heard of, but apparently they're popular. But she did say the good things that you need to make sure you have enough of is vitamin A and vitamin D. Very important. And that one of the best things for dealing with viruses in general, and it's something I use when I get a cold, is zinc. And zinc lozenges are probably one of the best way to try to lower the intensity of a cold or to shorten the intensity of a cold. And it should work with coronavirus as one thing you can do as part of, if you do get it, besides whatever therapies they're developing, is to just suck on zinc lozenges. Zinc works where if you're getting the symptoms of start of a cold, you start using the zinc lozenges, you just soak them in your mouth. They have other versions of it. I mean, Zicam was the original big company that was out there. They had a nasal swab that you used to use to wipe zinc gel around inside your nose. They took it off the market because some people lost their sense of smell from using this thing. So they have different versions of it now. But the idea is that zinc is known to have some type of antiviral properties that helps, and it's not going to create a situation for you with coronavirus or a cold, same family, in trying to recover from it.
And if you can't find any zinc, I read that you could go to your local hardware store and just suck on something that's coated in zinc, like a zinc
Go out.
bolt.
What you need to do is sand the paint off the metal on your car and lick the metal, because that's zinc.
There you go.
There's zinc in it, yeah. Or flashing. Go get flashing for your roof, and you can lick that. That's zinc.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's a solution.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've heard about how to try and prevent it is drink
Alcohol, lots of it.
hot drink. Apparently, when you get it, it congregates in your
Oh yeah,
throat.
that whole thing is bullshit.
It
I
is,
was reading that
okay.
too. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. They're like, oh, if you feel something in your throat, just drink lots of hot things and it'll go down to your stomach and go away. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that's not
Okay.
how colds work.
That came out as a claim that that's what the Japanese were using, that they were telling people to drink water every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Hot
I think
water.
I think I had coronavirus. I'm being dead serious. I was pretty sick about 6 weeks ago and had relatively similar symptoms and tested negative for the flu. So just saying.
Maybe. Well, it's fine.
there are
That's
people
It's
great.
been here for
banned.
months. It's been here for
out here
months.
for months, literally.
And nobody knew about it. Exactly. I'm pretty sure I already had this. So what I'm doing is I'm going and I'm licking little
Toilet
light
seats?
posts and hand railings and doors.
You're not taking the toilet seat challenge?
Oh
Did you
God,
see
that's
this?
ooh, not my toilet seat, dude.
They started out with some lady licking the toilet seat in an airplane
Oh,
and
man.
recording it, saying, this is all crap. We can do this. And went out there and people started to do it. That's as stupid as eating Tide Pods.
Hey, I did actually stock up on Tide Pods. That's my last line of defense in case I can't
That's
find
it.
anything to
Yeah.
eat.
Just get in the bathtub and let them soak in there.
Did you
Soak
see
in
the
Tide.
CDC had to release a thing that drinking bleach was not a good remedy to this? It will kill you.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that was so sad, man. That was
Yeah, it is.
sad. On
I
so
tell you
many
what, it's
levels.
not sad at all. Natural selection, baby. If you're gonna go and
Oh.
drink bleach, sayonara.
I was on Twitter and I linked to a story about the kids in Florida for spring break partying and the stupid stuff that they were saying. So my comment that got I said natural selection, and everybody's, oh, that's perfect. Great.
Mike is
Oh.
saying that Susan had identical symptoms, has been sick for weeks, tested negative for the flu. Yeah, same thing. I had the exact same thing probably 6 weeks ago. I was pretty sick for about a week.
well,
Yeah, but now
that's
you have
good. That's
you
good.
could
That's
sell
not
the
good. It
ant-
just means that this whole thing is bullshit. Is what
You
it
could
means,
say
Frank.
you could sell the antibodies.
Yeah,
You need a
actually they
couple
are
of-
looking for people that have had it too. Oh, I'll give you this one tip. If you are a relatively healthy individual, you should see if there's a blood drive going on in your town because apparently they need a lot of blood.
Yep.
So I gotta go get blood. Some
But
point
yeah,
this
you
week.
can make a bunch of money selling your blood.
I could.
Yeah,
So they
they're not
can-
looking
Nick's
for
blood.
pints.
I'm gonna put it on Facebook Marketplace. Nick's blood and more.
They're not looking for. They're
Come
not
by.
looking for. They're not looking for pints, though. They minimum is a quart.
A gallon of blood.
That's it.
I'm gonna go to the store.
2/3 of your blood out to sell.
See, a lot of people are going to the store and buying milk jugs. I'm going to the milk jugs. I'm going to the store, buying the milk, instantly
Chug-
pouring it down the drain, and then filling it up with blood
Yep.
and selling it on Facebook.
And then you can say that it's what is it? Agricultural approved. It says right on the
Oh, it's
label.
organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Non-GMO blood.
You can also try and pee in one and see if that'll work.
And I've
Tell
also
them-
I'm also putting on the claim that I do take this super blue stuff, which is supposed to cure coronavirus. So I mean, I'm good to go. I'm good.
Like super glue works. You glue your nose and your mouth shut, and you'll never get it.
It's true. I was thinking of just offing myself. That's a good solution.
Well, there
Can't
are
get sick.
people out there that are saying that this is really a population reduction. This is a conspiracy theory that this was designed to reduce the number of people on like Avengers, where half the world becomes poof, or Dan Brown's book about the thing is released that makes half the population sterile. There are people out there, foundations, that actually believe that the solution is to get rid of 7/8 of the population of the world and do it in a humane way. Simply. Yeah. Who gets to pick who stays? That's the
Right.
question.
Humane way, what you mean hatchet?
Huh?
What's the humane way?
It's up to who decides how you're going to go. It's not up to you.
It depends on the type of humanity you want to
That's
survive.
right. They have the step in
Alright.
front of a bus method. They have the jump off the bridge method.
I heard that's
I
a good
think-
one.
I
Yeah.
think the Nazis were pretty sure they are doing it the human way,
Yeah.
right? So,
Sure.
I've never seen any evidence to dispute that. So, I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right. We have to end just when we start having fun.
Well, it's all that stupid tech news that we did for 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, next week we'll just dump that next week. Go right into the conspiracy theory stuff.
I'll tell
Oh,
you
boy.
that tech news is the deep state.
We're going to sell half melon face masks. I cut a cantaloupe in half and dig out the seeds and wear that on your face.
Jesus
That's supposed to
Christ.
work good.
Did you
I saw
hear-
somebody out with a mask yesterday, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Did you
maybe they're
see?
sick and they don't want to infect you.
Yeah, don't leave your house then.
I know.
Did you see the coronavirus task force press thing yesterday or Friday, when Pompeo was on?
Yeah, Trump called him
Sorry.
the deep state.
Yeah, and he said, "Look, he's got to go back to the deep state department."
I'll send you a funny video that we can watch. It's pretty good.
People
Yeah.
are losing their mind over that, literally. And I'm not saying, I'm not commenting on whether it was good or not. But what I'm saying, did anybody follow Scott Adams' podcast?
Yes.
Did you remember what he talked about? How you're trying to troll the master.
Yep.
When the Chinese government came out and said it came from the United States.
Can't troll the troll. It doesn't
Yeah,
work.
But now all he has to do is get out there and say something crazy. But he's crazy. But everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
He brings it to the front. And it's like something that would never get mentioned is now out in front. Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, I think
There you go.
it's great because he's got all the outlets there now. Every
Oh,
day.
I'm not going to talk about it now. We're going to talk a lot about that on Against the Norm tonight.
Okay.
We got a good
All
show.
right. So
got a
we
good
won't
show.
talk
All
about
right.
it now.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm stealing my work.
All right. Sorry.
Show prep.
Yeah, come on, man.
All right, guys. Anything else technical?
No, sir. Stay safe, everybody. Stay home if you can.
Yep.
Oh, and
good.
support your local businesses. Go get takeout from your local restaurants and
Gift
I'm
cards.
being serious. Yeah, gift
If
cards,
they-
takeout,
yeah, if you
stuff
can
like
buy
that.
it. I mean, don't buy it for. There's one business I'd love to support. They just started, so I don't know that it's even going to help them.
Yep. So if you
Little
can.
chicken place.
Well, it may.
It might. Yeah. Oh, we discussed one other thing. Is what there's a lot of people talking about this now. If in fact they do send these checks out, and it may not be something where you
That's
can say,
probably
"Well,
for something
opt out."
for Against the Norm again.
Well, it is. But one thing to suggest to people is that use that money if you don't need it. Use that to help local businesses.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yes. Oh, one other thing too. If you're cooped up in your house for a couple of weeks, you're looking for something new. Study amateur radio and get a
License.
get your amateur radio license. Perfect time to do it and pretty
Yep.
on point. So,
Yep.
tip of the week for you.
All right.
Goodbye.
Well, thanks everybody. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Gal. Thanks, Spence.
Bye bye.
And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie, and Donna. Thanks everybody for tuning. Dina too. Thank you everybody for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing, back up your hard drive, and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. And tonight at 7 p.m., Nick hosts Against the Norm. You can listen to it at www.atnshow.com, Against the Norm, atnshow.com. And you can also try and listen to it on Wilmington's Big Talker 106.7 FM. See you next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.